Hi everyone, this is Meryem Inan from Jaguar Land Rover UK, and I would like to talk about lean thinking and practices in people management today. I would like to start with a question to my presentation, but I think it is not coming to the screen. Can anyone help me for the presentation? Right, it's coming now. Right. My first question is, how long does it take to develop a pianist, architect, sportsperson, or skilled worker? And here is the photo of Mete Gazoz, who is the gold medal winner in the Tokyo Olympics this year. And Mete Gazoz says that success is not coming by coincidence. And he has been practicing for this gold medal for 5 years, practicing every day, almost 9 hours. And he has been working with a strong team, which consists of 6 people in the team. And he says that he has been thinking about this every minute of his life so far. So as he states, the success is not by coincidence, and it is not coming with hard work, talent, and practice. I know we are not developing pianists or architects or artists in the companies, but we are developing people. That's why we need to put enough emphasis on development of the people if we are intending to lean transformation. So I have another question here. This is the simplified image of the lean transformation. We always say that for the lean transformation, we have 2 dimensions, 2 main pillars. One of the pillars is process improvement, and the other one is people development. But what I have been observing as an HR manager, I am not sure that how much emphasis or how much effort we are spending on people development. That's why we really need to review our activities to understand how much time and effort we put process versus people to develop the desired culture. Because desired culture will be lying behind the sustainability of the lean transformation. When we talk about culture, actually it is such a big and vague terminology. And there is a very common quote from Peter Drucker, who says, culture eats strategy in the breakfast. That's why I would like to say that even if we have a perfect strategy, if we don't have suitable and aligned culture, which is the enabler of it, can we achieve the targets or sustain the achievement? So when it comes down to the core of it, the people implementing the plan are the ones that make all the difference. That's why I would like to recap the definition of culture here. And I like the McKenzie's culture definition, which says a common set of behaviors and underlying mindsets and beliefs that shape how people work and interact day to day. And there is a very, very strong and important additional comment on the culture, which says culture also encompasses why people do what they do. So I can say that this vague and big terminology is very important, and this cannot be created overnight. This cannot be copied. This cannot be developed from outside, or it cannot be generated by the other people. But there is a good news here. It can be improved. I think my slides are not flowing in a timely manner, but I will keep explaining my slides. So, yes, the next slide is, someone is managing my slides, I think.
Sorry, Miriam, I'm just going to jump in. If you hover over your slide deck, you'll see arrows, and you can advance the slides by clicking the arrows. Do you see that?
I can't see the arrows here.
Okay,
Yes.
in that case, if you could just let me know when to move to the next slide, and I'll keep pace with you. Sorry about that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. So, after recapping the culture definition and the importance of it, I would like to ask another question. How can we develop people towards the desired culture and in line with the transformation plan? Can we move to the next, Matt? Right. This is the simple model of developing culture or maintaining the desired culture in the company. This is a simple model which was, I would say, instructed to us when I was in Japan, Toyota HR. And this simple method is for developing and deploying values and behaviors in the overseas companies. This model is mainly for maintaining the mutual trust and respect relationship between company and employees. There are two dimensions in this model, as you can see. And a company is responsible to ensure stability of employment and maintain working conditions. And as a return of it, employee is responsible to give the maximum effort and cooperation to attain corporate prosperity. Of course, these two effort should be done based on the shared common values. Under this simple model to maintain mutual trust and respect relationship, there are 4 basic principles I would like to go through today. Can we move to the next, please? Yeah, thank you. So these are the 4 main principles for creating or maintaining this relationship. And I will try to ask some questions to give some insights on how you can develop these principles in your company. So starting with the first one, workplace environments where employees can work with their trust in the company. Can we move to the next one, Matt? And next one. To create a stable working conditions for the employees, we need to have some basic fundamentals. That's why we need to ask these questions to ourselves. The first one, does company have fixed and flexible headcount plan in line with mid to long-term strategy? And linked to this one is the dismissal last solution for the demand fluctuation, crisis, and cost reduction. This is really important, the first important thing for the employees, job security. And if employees don't feel themselves secure enough in the company, their loyalty is becoming lower, as we all know. That's why these two are really important questions we need to ask to ourselves. And the next one is, are the policy and procedures being implemented everyone in the company equally, regardless of position and grade? This is about fairness and consistency in the company. Employees are watching the leaders, managers, HR managers to understand that is everything treated equally in the company. And the next one is the employees' morale being checked or monitored on a regular basis. These are the main questions. And if we have these answers, if we have answers to these questions or enough mechanism systems to answer these questions, we can monitor our progress with the related KPIs. These KPIs can be attrition, voluntary or compulsory attrition, employees engagement index, performance index, absenteeism rate. Especially for the manufacturing companies, absenteeism rate is very important to maintain the stable production, and average lead time of resolution of the employees' issues. Can we move to the next slide, Matt? Thank you. And the next principle is mechanisms for promoting constant initiative in continuous improvement. As we all know, continuous improvement is the backbone of the lean transformation. That's why we really need to put enough effort to establish these systems and keep maintaining with employees' involvement into it. Can we move to the next slide? So again, to maintain continuous improvement in the company, we need to ask some questions to ourselves. Is there a structured, regular communication plan between company and employees to share the vision, pushing, and progress? We need to make our employees aware about our progress situation or the sector. That's why this regular info sharing is really important between company and the employee. And based on these shared ideas, status update, is there a continuous improvement mechanism such as Kaizen quality control circle in the company? And are the employees able to improve own working conditions by doing and problem solving, not only the asked Kaizen points or problems, issues asked by the managers or the leaders? That's why we need to improve the willingness of the employees to join into these systems. And the last one, are employees involved into the transformation, company-wide improvement activities, or have they been forced to the improved conditions and being asked to maintain them? Again, after asking these questions based on our responses and our daily activities, these are the related KPIs we can monitor our progress. So Kaizen, problem solving per employee, which we used to monitor in Toyota, and we are doing it in Jaguar Land Rover as well. Number of problem solving teams established by the employees and leaders. And what is the lead time of actualization of a Kaizen problem solving? The quick feedback by the managers really reinforces Kaizen activities at the shop floor or at the workplace. And correlation of number of Kaizen problem solving and recognition for the employees. And the last one, which is very important, I think, repetitive problems rate versus the first time through. Can we move to the next slide, please, Matt? And the next principle is, after establishing and maintaining continuous improvement mechanism, we need to promote teamwork with pursuit of individual roles and optimization of the entire team. To do so, again, we can ask these questions to ourselves. Can we move to the next one, Matt? Is the consensus building reinforced by the management? This is really important. I have been observing in the workplace. The one of the risk is having silo or departmental viewpoints against of company values or company's desired culture. That's why really consensus building should be reinforced by the top management and the leaders at the workplace. The second one is there a Hoshinkanner structure which is deployed to departments and individual performance and development cycle? Are there teamwork activities? It can be formal or informal. It can be initiated by the company, by the leaders, or even by the employees themselves. And are leaders empowered with enough resource to strengthen teamwork and motivation? Can a leader take their team to a dinner, brunch, picnic, or can they do any teamwork activity in their workplace? Can they do teamwork Kaizen activity altogether with some symbolic rewards by the company? So all these resources are, strengthening the teamwork activities and team problem-solving initiatives at the workplace. Again, these are the related KPIs for the maintaining the teamwork activities. Employees' attendance rate to the company activities are very important. Are the employees joining the social club activities, tournaments, employee dinners, these kind of things, because it is very important indicator of the employee morale. And the second one, are the employees volunteer for social activities, charity activities? And the last one is number of problem-solving activities as a team on a yearly basis. So these can be, there can be more KPIs and questions, of course. These are the main ones I wanted to put into this presentation. Based on my observation, I think these are the important ones to reinforce the culture at the workplace. Can we move to next one, Matt? And the last one is, which is the core of this presentation today, is about commitment and thorough people development. We always talk about people development, but how much structured people development mechanisms we have is a big question mark, and how much we are putting emphasis on a daily basis is another question mark. That's why I would like to talk about this in a bit wider than the other principles. Let me ask my questions first again, then to move to the details. Can we move to next slide, Matt? So my questions for this one, is there a company-wide, transparent, long-term employee development program? And are the managers, leaders responsible for developing employees? I think this is one of the critical points. Both company and managers should be responsible for employee development. This was the strongest point I could observe when I was working in Toyota. And if developing employees is not managers' responsibility, if there is no consequences, employees are alone with their own future or career planning. The next one is, are the leaders, managers involved into the training and development program? So they need the managers, leaders to join the training development programs. They have to be the sample of their future leaders. They have to be the sample of their employees, and they have to share their experiences with the others. And unless we come to the point that our current leaders develop the employees, I think we can't maintain the right values and behaviors in the workplace, and we can't sustain them. And the last one is there a clearly designed on-the-job development mechanism supported by other systems in the company, which I will explain in detail in the next slide. So based on these main questions, again, the related KPIs can be turnover and attrition, and especially the findings from the exit interviews. If employees are saying that I am leaving from this company because of lack of development opportunities, we really need to ask this question to ourselves. Are we providing enough opportunity to the people? And the other KPI is number of people development target in the managers and employees target setting. So every year, linked to the Hoshin or policy deployment, whatever the performance monitoring and reviewing process, I think each employee, each manager should put at least one development target into their plan. Again, based on these main questions and related KPIs, we can monitor our progress on developing the desired culture in the company. I would like to move to the details of the people development program in the companies. Can we move to next slide, please? First of all, I would like to remind that between the company's performance improvement and people development performance has a direct correlation, and we always need to look from the long-term perspective. Developing people is not a short-term issue. We can't develop people in 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. We really need to look from the future vision, and we need to, develop them on a steady path. And it needs to be visible to all employees. They need to see that they have future in this organization. And based on this long-term perspective, can we move to next slide, Matt? We need to maintain the on-the-job development structure in the company, because we know that with the classroom training only, we can't train people, we can't create the desired culture. And the self-development opportunities and classroom training can only be the supportive of the on-the-job development. That's why after we develop a long-term people development program, we need to ensure that each program should be delivered to managers and leaders, and they have to observe the desired behaviors and values in the actual workplace, and they have to give daily feedback to the employees for those desired behaviors. And by doing that, we can maintain those skills and behaviors. We all know that research shows that only recognized behaviors and values are becoming repeated actions. So we need to recognize those behaviors and values at the workplace. And if we have this kind of long-term program supported by the on-the-job development, it should be definitely linked to the company values. Of course, it should be coming from the company values. And the results of this development program should be linked to the other systems in the company, like performance appraisals, grade up, promotions, or succession planning. Can we move to the next one? And this is another example for people development linked to the other systems. So we always talk about policy deployment, Hoshin Kanri. And we know that Hoshin Kanri is coming from the values long-term vision, and it's a kind of company-wide problem solving for the gap between current and the future. Based on that long-term plan, long-term vision, we need to create our 5 years plan. And then based on the 5 years plan, we are creating our annual plan. And annual plan is divided into departments to write their own Hoshin. And then after creating the department Hoshin or target setting for the year, it needs to be divided into each individual's responsibility area. And managers should be responsible for monitoring employees' target setting performance against that target and their development status on it. And for each employees, after setting the target and reviewing the progress, we need to ensure that we are assigning the suitable job to the employees. And in the on-the-job development concept, they always say that there are 3 jobs to be assigned to the employees. Some tasks can be must-do areas. So there are some activities or works we should definitely do for the company prosperity. And there are some activities can be done by the employees. All of them are not capable to do them. And there are some tasks or activities employees want to do. We need to find the optimum area to assign the suitable job to the employees. And suitable job means each job, each target should be stretching employees from this year to next year. And after assigning this suitable task, we need to monitor it. Managers are responsible to monitor their performance and development. They have to give proper feedback. And at the end of the year, we need to review both the business results and people development results. So this needs to be a kind of integrated cycle in the companies. That's why we can embed the people development into the system. We can embed it into the lean transformation model. Can we move to the next slide, Matt? So in summary, I know I asked many questions during this presentation. Actually, it was my target for today to develop more insights, to think about it more about the people development. But in summary, I can say that if you have more yes than no's to the questions which I asked before this slide, it means you are very close to the desired culture, or you have an aligned culture for lean transformation. But after this slide, I would like to ask one more question to put more emphasis on something I am really, uncomfortable to see it every day in the companies. That's why I would expect all companies to say no for the next question. Can we move to the next one, Matt? In almost all the companies, even in Toyota, even in Jaguar Land Rover, so wherever we are, in some of the companies I have been cooperating, there are some easy answers for the 5 why analysis or fishbone diagram analysis when we solve a problem. Sometimes we find that men, this is the fishbone diagram, man-machine material method. We are asking why for each aspect of this fishbone diagram. And sometimes we find human as the root cause of the problem, which is not possible at all if we are really keen to develop our processes, or if we are keen to develop our desired culture and develop our people. If we find human as a cause of any problem, at least once more, we need to ask why, because we need to understand the failure of that human and we need to do systematic improvements of that failure. Can we move to the next slide, Matt? Yeah, this is all from me today. Thank you very much for listening. And in last 3 minutes, if there is any question, I am happy to answer if I can.
Thank you so much, Mariam, for that wonderful presentation. We do have a couple of questions that have come in, and a couple of minutes. I think we have time probably just for one. Maria Fernanda asks, this long-term development program, should it be correlated with payment level or salary remuneration? So probably a lot. It's a question on a lot of people's minds here.
Yes. This long-term development program should be correlated with the grades and positions in the company. And for example, it should start with the orientation program for the newcomers. And it needs to go with the grades of the employees. When they become leaders, they need to get the first line leader training program. And then when they become experienced managers or leaders for a wider team, they need to get a more depth program. Yes, it needs to be correlated with the positions and grades in the company, which is equal to payments, salaries, actually.
Thank you for that. We may have time for one more question. I don't know. Chris may kick me off. Oh, Chris is here to kick me off stage. So I guess we don't have time for one more question. Thank you so much, Mariam, for that wonderful presentation on such an important topic.
Thank you very much, Matt. Thank you, Christopher. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.